You're not predicting a Kyle Fletcher upset here,
No,
are you?
I'm not.
From AEW side, you want to be the conversation. You want to dominate the talk coming out of this weekend. With somebody as talented as Kyle Fletcher, is it that big of a risk? Is all I'm asking.
So we have 13 matches for All Out, and then we have 5 for Wrestlepalooza. I have 5 questions for you regarding tomorrow's shows. Number 1 is, of these 18 matches, which one is going to be the longest bell to bell?
The longest. Okay. Holy shit! Look at All Out. Longest match on the show.
Longest match.
Okay. Well, I mean, I anticipate it being one of the matches on All Out.
Okay.
Despite the fact that it's got
You've cut it down to 13.
8 other matches. I think main event will probably get a lot of time. Trying to think what the competitors are. Darby, I don't see Darby Mox getting the most time. I can see the Cope and Christian and FTR.
I can see that one getting like 20-25.
The latter match might just, but I mean they're going to go at such a fast pace that maybe not. I'm going to go with the main event here. I'm going to go with Paige and Fletcher.
Okay.
How about you?
I was thinking the same, to be honest. I thought Paige and Kyle. I think I could see that one being in like the 35 range, to be honest.
If this was an Okada like singles match, I might put that in contention as well. But it being a 3-way at a much faster pace with a Mask or a Dorada in there, I don't expect that to go 30 minutes plus or anything like that.
John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Over under 12 minutes.
Okay. Bell to bell.
Bell to bell, yes, not entrances.
How long was their Extreme Rules match? Like, how long were those matches? You know,
I would say that one was like in the neighborhood of like 18 or so.
Because I think it'll be like an attempt to replicate.
That was 13 years ago. Let's remember, Lesnar hasn't wrestled in 2 years.
Yeah.
Cena and Lesnar was 17 minutes and 43 seconds in 2012.
Okay. You said 12 minutes?
12 minutes, over or under?
I'll give the over. I'll go the over on that.
Go the over. Okay. They went 15:53 at SummerSlam 2014. Okay, so he's taking the over. Now, this is the exact time that the All Out broadcast fades to black, signaling the end of the show. What exact time? Okay, we have a 3 p.m. Eastern start time.
Yeah.
Fade to black.
We need a somewhat educated guess on this, okay? Because pay-per-view itself starts at 3:00. Now, what are we dealing with in recent AEW shows? Do you know how long Forbidden Door was, like, pay-per-view actual, like, start?
Oh, that was, I can't remember off the top of my head.
How long was Forbidden Door? Well, okay, I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess it'll at least be 4 hours and change, okay? So that'll take us to
So after 7 p.m.
Yeah, I'm going to guess we're going to go till 7:30. I'm guessing, like, I think there's a chance Tony doesn't start the main event until after 7:00, you know?
Oh, I think that's, like, I do not think they're going to get to the main event by 7 p.m. on this show. Yeah.
So if I'm guessing also for Fletcher and Paige to be the longest match on the show, I'm thinking like close to 30, if not even beyond that. That means 7:41 is when we're going to go to black.
Okay.
Well, what's your guess? You got to play too.
I think it's going past 8, to be honest. I'm going to say like 8:10. Okay.
So you're guessing a 5-hour and 10-minute main card, not including the tailgate.
Yeah, it's possible.
So it's total 6-hour show. All right. Well, yeah,
I hope it's
unprecedented. Yeah.
The live viewing. So we've got the ESPN app, this WWE launch, and then we've got AEW on HBO Max for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Does either side crash?
I don't see it for HBO Max.
Okay. Just HBO Max. I'm not talking about others. Just the HBO Max, because that's the first time they're running on this.
I mean,
does the ESPN app, do we get a big crash during the show?
I would anticipate like more maybe like billing potential issues with HBO Max than like too many streams overloading the thing. I think the pricing represents a major barrier for a lot of people to purchase the show. I also think people might be set in their ways of like sticking with Triller or whatever else as well. So I don't really anticipate an overloading crash for HBO Max.
Certainly, there's less concern, I think, about that. For things.
ESPN, I also think there's going to be a major hurdle for people to even access it on time. And for that reason, like it's not going to be like Netflix where you just flick it on and it's on, right? I mean, they had similar issues.
You just shocked like 10% of the people right now who are just learning about that.
Did they not have similar issues with Peacock though for the Peacock debut? Where like, did they crash Peacock? That was
tough
also
because we never watched on Peacock, so I'm like I can't really like I never heard about like Peacock. The complaints I always heard about Peacock were just the ads and stuff, but not the actual like.
It's also a way more straightforward process to just go to Peacock and then get that, right? So, will it crash? I'm also going to say no. I'm going to say like technologically it'll go relatively straightforward. Getting there is really the different issue.
Okay, and then we have 6 title matches. I'm not including Vicaire and EO because that's a given. Of the other 6 title matches, which are Page, Hangman and Fletcher, Okada, Takeshita, Dorada, the ladder match 4-way. Tony Storm defending the women's title in a 4-way, Mercedes and Riho, and Cody and Drew. How many title changes of those 6?
Right. Okay. So Cody and Drew, I don't see it. Do you?
I don't. No.
Yeah, I don't. Riho, Mercedes, definitely not. Do you?
No, not a chance.
Unified, I also don't see it. I think Okada retains. Let me know if you feel any differently, John.
Yeah, no, I listed all of these, and I don't think 0 is like a crazy answer.
Well, okay, let's take a look. So it would be the ladder match that would have some potential because Brodito are the champions. Could it go to either Jet Speed, Hechicero, or Josh Alexander, or the Bucks?
I think only the Bucks are candidates, and I just don't feel them like pulling the plug on Brodito so fast. Like if anything, this could lead to a Bucks straight up match with Brodito maybe coming out of this. And I kind of feel similar with Tony Storm that I almost feel that Tekla is one where whoever you want to go with, like you could get to a singles match after this. I don't completely dismiss the Tony Storm one, but I'm not leaning towards a title change in any of them.
Yeah. For me, it's a bit of a toss-up between those two. Either Tony Storm losing to one of the other participants or Brodito losing. Man. So are you completely... You're not predicting a Kyle Fletcher upset here,
no,
are you?
I'm not.
It would be quite the way to go off air. Like on a head-to-head battle show. And if you're AEW, is it that big of a risk? To interrupt the Hangman title win by putting the belt on Kyle Fletcher, that I think if we're strictly looking at talent and the tools, that guy already has it. So I think you'd be in good hands if even just for like a 1 to 2 month reign before Page, fights for it back. Is that the worst idea?
This month on the Post Wrestling Cafe, we're going back to November of 1995 as Rewind Away takes a look at the Survivor Series featuring Diesel defending the WWF Championship against Bret Hart. We'll also have weekly editions of Collision Course with the carousel of co-hosts joining Kate from Montreal, reviews of TNA Victory Road, New Japan's Destruction in Kobe, and it is the Ask Away Mailbag Show as John and Wei answer your questions all this month at postwrestlingcafe.com. One of the biggest issues that AEW has is just such a lack of depth on the heel side. Like you make Kyle Fletcher if you do something like that. I'm just leaning it more towards like this is a guy who's going to have like this incredible performance. He's going to have the match of his life and comes up short. And this is like going to be the match that is like the big weight on his shoulder. That's going to be his kind of directional path for
Page or Fletcher?
Fletcher losing this, and then this is the loss he has to overcome down the road at some point. That's where I see this one going.
Why can't it be that story for Page right now? Renewed. I mean, I know he already had that in Jericho, but to have this sort of embarrassment when the company is counting on you, I mean, doesn't that provide great motivation for him to come back?
The loss by Hangman, I'll say that promo that he cuts on Dynamite of just being so sure of himself, like it totally reads different afterwards. That's like, here you allowed yourself to just get too big-headed and you overlooked this rising star as well. You're going to talk me into this, but I'm still going to leave it at 0 title changes. But you can't completely throw it out of the mix. And I was like, this whole pay-per-view is about making Kyle Fletcher. Like, that is, to me, after all the TV building up to this whole show to me is about Kyle Fletcher. He is the main character to me on this show.
So yes, 100%. I also think from a more macro perspective, from AEW side, you want to be the conversation. You want to dominate the talk coming out of this weekend, or at least like fight for your spot in the conversation.
That's Shane McMahon. He doesn't work here.
Like, and I don't like that's like hot shot booking for the sake of just like getting headlines. I don't. But with somebody as talented as Kyle Fletcher, is it that big of a risk? Is all I'm asking. And is tonight the type of night that you want to take a risk like that to get people talking, especially during the competition show, going head to head with it? You know.
If they had like this big laid out idea of Fletcher as champion, I'd be all for it. If it was just like thinking in a bubble of like this weekend, I would say that's the wrong reaction to be doing, of taking this champion that people are legitimately behind in a top babyface in Hangman Page that the people are really behind.
The risk is, I mean, you can argue, in the midst of establishing Hangman as your like company ace, and to kind of cut him off right now, do you risk negative headlines from people saying, AEW's lost confidence? Like, how could you like take the belt off the Page? What, you know, like, is that negative press that they would want to potentially avoid? I wouldn't worry about that stuff.
Yeah, if I was me, I think there's too much of that concern.
Okay, so getting back to what you're saying, I'm gonna predict at least one title change.
Okay,
not including Vicaire and
one
Io,
title change.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to say which one it's going to be?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't the question.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, there you go. That was the game.
I love this game. Thank you, John.
I just
love this. I think this is way more interesting than
this is what happens when you catch up on SmackDown and you're live and you need some time to kill before you can let some time pass to restart SmackDown. Okay.
I hope you guys played along with us and let us know your answers in the forum, or also in the Patreon comments, or wherever you might interact with us.
Okay. How many questions do I get in at the press conference?
Oh, the game's still going?
No, that's a...
You can ask Tony Storm as many questions as you want.
Oh, man. They will have Tony Storm out there, won't they? Yeah. What happens if Tony Storm wins, MJF wins? I mean, this could be quite the press conference.
Are you ready to ask for a pickle?
No, I might just walk out. That might be the reaction.
You will get a question. Like, Tony usually makes time for everybody. Yeah.